All right, so my opponent has dropped in here. All right, so first and foremost, guys, my half guard is going to stay over his knee. I'm not giving that up. All right, I don't just let him pass his knee through here just because he turns. All right, that's giving up a position. I don't want to do that. So my half guard is going to stay above the knee. The first thing that I'm going to do when I get in this position is I need to put my frames in. Just like anything else, we're going to start with frames, right? So the frame that I need, especially when I'm in here, this frame does not do me a whole lot of good, okay? He can push my arm back no matter where I put this type of frame. When he starts pushing his butt backwards, it's going to make my arm move, okay? So this frame is the one that's important, right? So when I'm here, I don't want to just put my frame anywhere back here because this is necessarily not a frame. If he starts to push backwards, he's still going to make my arm move, okay? So it's the way that we put this frame in that makes a huge difference on whether we're going to be able to keep him from pushing back on us or not. All right, so when I drop this frame in, I put it right down here towards the armpit, okay? So I'm utilizing this part of my arm right down here to the armpit, and then I get a grip, right? And that makes a super solid frame. Now if he tries to push back, he cannot get any space away from me. Like I said, this one wouldn't have stopped him anyway, okay? So once we've established this grip right here, right, we're going to learn a lot of different things that we can do from this position according to what he does when he's countering this position, okay? The first one, right, is I'm just going to put my foot to the ground right here, right? I've established the frame, and I'm going to literally just kick really hard that direction with my leg and drive over him, okay? So I'm here, I'm just going to kick really hard and come over him, all right? That's the simplest one that you can do. You have to catch him off guard, right? If he's got a super solid base, he's going to start defending that, right? But then we're going to utilize that to do some other things as well. But that's the first thing. All right, so we're here. I've got my grip. I've established my frame. He can't push back anymore, right? I'm going to open up my half guard now, right? I'm not worried about him doing a lot of other things. So I'm going to open up my half guard. This is still staying engaged, right? I'm not losing that, right? But my toe has to go to the ground so that I can make the big push. Okay, so I'm going to make the big push and I'm going to drive my hips over, okay? So utilizing the frame, my arm, and my leg all at the same time to drive over and come into the top position, okay? That's very, very simple. It's not too complicated. We're going to start there and we're going to build off of that according to how he reacts because you're not going to catch everybody off guard, right? That first one is the easy one and then we're going to build on that, all right? So let's do that first one. We're going to spend about 5 minutes on that and we're going to add to it. Let's do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. We're in the exact same scenario. I've got my elbow in, right? I've got my grip, right? Guys, this is super important. I do not want this, right? I cannot move his shoulder pulling down here, right? So I've got to be up here so that I can, when I move him, I can move with the shoulder, okay? This elbow cannot be up towards the shoulder. It's got to be down here towards the armpit, all right? So I open up, I get up on my arm, okay? I start to hip out. As I start to hip out, he wants to back step out of here, okay? Now, 2 things are gonna happen when he back steps out. I'm gonna clear, right? And I'm gonna be able to stand back up, or he's gonna try to underhook my legs and stop me, all right? So he back steps out, right? And this is the scenario we're in. This is gonna happen quickly, right? So I can clear out of here if he doesn't grab my legs, right? So I can just clear out and come up and start attacking the back again, stand up, stand at base, right? So a lot of times when he clears, he's gonna control the hip and he's gonna grab underneath the legs. Now, my clearing is not possible anymore, okay? So, but the exact same thing that we did the first time is possible. He's underhooking my legs. I've only got a second, right? If he drives himself backwards and puts me back on my back again, I cannot do this, okay? So I've got to do this while I'm here. All right, so he's underhooked my leg. I'm going to utilize that other foot, and I'm going to kick over him the exact same way I did the first time. Okay? So, show it from this direction so you can see what he's doing. All right, so I've got my frames in. All right, I come up on my kickstand. I clear my knee out. He back steps and he underhooks. Okay? This is where he's got my hip trapped, right? For me to get away from him now is almost impossible. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did the first time. He's taken away his post right here. See that? He can't stick his foot back to stop himself, right? So I'm just gonna kick real hard and drive my body over the top of him. All right? So his hand has gone underneath my leg. He's taken away his post. His back leg's not gonna stop that twist. All right? Last time from side angle. All right, I've got my frame built up. I build my kickstand up. I shrimp out a little bit. He back steps. He underhooks my legs. It's a timing thing, okay? So, I says, if he doesn't grab my legs, I'm gonna be able to take his back. I'm gonna be able to stand up. A lot of different options that I'm gonna have. So, he's got to do that and try to drive back in. All right? So, he's flipped over. Look, as soon as I knew that he was gonna flip over, I put my arm in, all right? That way I didn't have to fight for it, okay? So, come back up, all right? We're here. I see him starting to turn. My elbow comes in, right? I'm not letting him get up high on me, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and grab. I'm gonna control that part of the gi, okay? So I got control of that part of the gi. All right, so now we're gonna start building to where we have a little bit more space, okay? So now that I've got this frame, now we're gonna learn how to get up a little bit more, all right? So what I wanna do here is I wanna swing my elbow back and get it underneath me, all right? This is gonna give me a lot more leverage for a lot more options, okay? So now, whenever I get in this position, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hip away a little bit. I wanna clear this knee that's stuck loose over here, okay? So, boom. So he's gonna keep that, and he's gonna try to hang on to that quarter mount that he has right there, right? But he's not gonna be able to get any more space, and he's not gonna be able to clear anything else, all right? So now we've got a few different options, all right? We still have the kick over option. If I'm up on my elbow, I can still kick over, right? And a lot of times I'll be able to wind up in mount if I'm in that position, right? Because I cleared my knee. So the first one is gonna wind us up in half guard, but the second option, we're gonna wind up in mount because of the way that he is, all right? So we're here, all right? He's got that locked up. I come up to my elbow. My leg is stuck out there. I want to clear that knee. So I'm gonna hip a little bit, all right? Get that knee cleared. That knee is now resting in his hip, all right? That puts a lot of reverse pressure on him. So a lot of these things that I want to do are gonna count from there, right? So the first one that we're gonna do is the one where we take the back, all right? Professor Chad showed this a few times, all right? And we're just gonna take the back from here, all right? So my knee is gonna slide out in order for me to take the back, okay? So a lot of times, once I've got that knee cleared right here and I'm in this position, I just gotta continue to shrimp and pull that knee down by his hip. So I'm just here, I'm coming here, all right? So once I've cleared that knee here, I can start to circle around and start backing, or attacking the back, all right? Here, he drops, I create my frame, I build up, I hip out, I get my knee clear. See where my knee's coming? Right there, okay? So I'm here, I need to start to pull him in this direction, all right? So I'm pulling my leg out, and now I'm able to swing out and get the back attack. Okay? One last time, put my frame in, get in the collar, okay? So this elbow cannot be up near the shoulder, okay? I cannot be up here at all. I've got to have that elbow down and in. I build up under my elbow. Once I'm up on my elbow, I want to hip. If I try to do any of this stuff from right here, it's gonna be very difficult because how deep my leg is, okay? So I've got the power, the hip, I'm just gonna go ahead and hip, all right? Pull my hip out a little bit more, reestablish your frame, get in a good position. Now my knee's gonna come out the bottom right here, right? So as I do that, I'm pulling him in this direction, okay? So I hip, my knee comes out, I start to pull, place the hook, okay? And you can start attacking the back from there.